I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my life.
Are you ready to uncover the shocking truth behind some of your favorite musicians' darkest secrets? Stay tuned, because today we're delving into the gripping tales of 20 artists currently facing serious legal woes. Trust us, you won't want to miss this. Number 20, Bobby Bosole. To begin, let's delve into the twisted tale of Bobby Bosole. Many of us know Charles Manson as a cult leader and murderer, but did you know he was also a musician? Manson's musical pursuits took a dark turn when he wrote a song allegedly stolen by the Beach Boys' Dennis Wilson, leading to threats and even a bullet left on Wilson's bed. But our focus today is on another musician in Manson's orbit, Bobby Bosole. In the 60s, Bosole was part of a band called the Grassroots, later renamed Love. Love went on to record the iconic album Forever Changes, but Bosole's musical journey took an unexpected turn when he joined Manson's infamous Family. Despite his earlier success, he moved on to bands with whimsically spelled names like the Orchestra and the Magic Powerhouse of Oz. Things took a dark and violent turn in 1969 when Bosole, working as a recruiter for Manson, reportedly acted on an order to fatally stab Gary Hinman. Hinman, a music teacher, was connected to Wilson, and his murder marked the first grisly act linked to the Manson family. Bosole was sentenced to death, but with California abolishing the death penalty in 1972, his punishment was changed to life in prison. Fast forward to 2019, when California Governor Gavin Newsom reversed a parole recommendation for Bosole. Despite the passage of time, the haunting echoes of Bosole's involvement with Manson and that fateful murder still resonate, keeping him behind bars.
Bosole says he's ready for parole. Besides his music business, he's earned a high school diploma and degrees in electronics.
Number 19, C Murder. Now let's dive into the tumultuous journey of Corey Miller, widely known as C Murder, a prominent figure in the late 90s and early 2000s rap scene dominated by the No Limit label. The rap world was ablaze from hits from Master P and his brothers, including C Murder. However, the shine of success took a dark turn for C Murder in 2002 at the Platinum Club in Harvey, Louisiana. In attendance was a 16-year-old No Limit fan named Steve Thomas, who, with a fake ID, found himself in the midst of a rap battle turned brawl. As chaos erupted, the situation took a tragic turn. According to reports from the Times-Picayune, a jury determined that C Murder shot Thomas once in the chest while the teen lay on his back being beaten by the rapper's friends. This horrifying incident led to C Murder being sentenced to life behind bars, marking a stark descent from the heights of rap stardom to the harsh reality of a prison cell. This, however, wasn't the first instance of C Murder's violent encounters. In 2001, he allegedly pulled a gun on a bouncer at a Baton Rouge club and attempted to shoot the club's owner. Fortunately, the gun jammed, sparing potential further tragedy. C Murder faced consequences for this earlier incident, receiving a 10-year sentence, and even in 2019, a retrial was denied.
Graduated with a murder degree. Don't let me die in jail. My baby feeling my pain, and will I ever be free?
Number 18, Vybz Cartel. Now let's delve into the controversial tale of Vybz Cartel, the influential figure in the dancehall scene whose life took a dark turn leading to a life sentence. Vybz Cartel, born Adidja Palmer, rose to fame as the world boss, leaving a mark on the music industry with collaborations featuring Rihanna, Jay-Z, Busta Rhymes, Missy Elliott, Pitbull, and Major Lazer. However, his success came crashing down in 2014 when he was convicted of murder. The incident revolves around the gruesome murder and mutilation of Clive Lizard Williams, a member of Cartel's Inner Circle. Police alleged that Cartel believed Williams had stolen guns from him and his crew. According to The Guardian, a 65-day trial, reportedly the longest in Jamaican history, unfolded, leading to Cartel's life sentence. His first chance for parole is set for 2049. What sealed Cartel's fate were chilling text messages where he allegedly admitted to disposing of Williams' body, which was never found. In one of these messages, Cartel reportedly said, "Tween me and you a chop. We chop the boy lizard fine fine. Yeah man, a mincemeat dat. As long as you live, dem can never find him." This gruesome evidence played a crucial role in the trial, painting a horrifying picture of the events that transpired.
Hey, man, I tell you, you got what I need.
Number 17, Big Lurch. Next, let's dive into the chilling story of Big Lurch, a towering figure in the rap scene whose horrifying actions turned his promising career into a nightmare. Big Lurch, born Antron Singleton, stood at 6 foot 7 inches and had a budding career in the 90s and early 2000s. Collaborating with rap giants like E40, Too Short, and Mystical, he was making a name for himself. As a member of Cosmic Slop Shop, alongside rappers Dooney Bay and Rick Rock, they released the album Da Family in 1998. However, Big Lurch's solo career took a dark turn. In 2004, his album, It's All Bad, hit stores after he had already been sentenced to life in prison for committing heinous crimes that seem almost unbelievable. According to the Los Angeles Times, Big Lurch was found guilty of murdering his roommate in 2002. The details are gruesome. During the act, he reportedly cut open the woman's chest, removed her lung, and consumed it. Police discovered him walking down a Los Angeles street naked and covered in blood. Big Lurch's lawyer, Milton Grimes, admitted that his client committed the murder, but claimed it happened during a 5-day PCP bender, citing a history of mental health problems stemming from drug abuse. This shocking case serves as a grim reminder of how quickly a promising career can spiral into darkness. Number 16, YNW Melly. Now let's unravel the troubled tale of YNW Melly, a rising rapper whose life took a dark turn amid accusations of a gruesome crime. Born Jamel Demons, YNW Melly faced the harsh realities of a life in a tough Florida neighborhood. His lyrics mirrored the struggles, touching on themes like crime, violence, and teenage street life. In 2015, he faced legal trouble, charged with assault with a deadly weapon after firing a gun at 3 students near his high school. It was during this time behind bars that Melly found inspiration for Murder on My Mind, a top 20 triple platinum hit that gained popularity after its 2017 SoundCloud upload. Upon release, Melly continued to make music, even collaborating with Kanye West. His career seemed to be on the rise, but trouble struck again in February 2019. 2 of Melly's friends and fellow YNW crew members, Christopher Juvie Thomas Jr. and Anthony Sack Chaser Williams, were found dead at a Miramar, Florida hospital, allegedly shot to death. Melly and another YNW associate, Cortland Bortland Henry, were arrested by Miramar police, accused of perpetrating the murders. Melly, alleged to be the triggerman, and Bortland, the alleged driver, were accused of staging a drive-by shooting to cover up the true nature of the crime. Both men pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of first-degree murder. Although Bortland was released on bond in May 2020, his subsequent trips to strip clubs violated the terms of his release, landing him back in legal trouble. As of April 2023, YNW Melly's trial is underway, marking a tragic chapter in the life of a young artist once on the brink of success.
Just wipe those tears off of your face. I'm sorry.
Number 15, Tay-K. Now let's dive into the astonishing and dark narrative of Tay-K, a rapper whose career took off amidst a string of criminal activities. In 2016, 16-year-old Tamor McIntyre, also known as Tay-K or Tay-K-47, allegedly took part in a robbery and home invasion in Mansfield, Texas, resulting in the death of 21-year-old Ethan Walker. Initially placed under house arrest in Tarrant County, Texas, McIntyre made a bold move by cutting off his ankle monitor and fleeing. During his months on the run, he reportedly became involved in a 2017 murder in San Antonio, stealing camera equipment from victim Mark Anthony Saldivar. McIntyre allegedly pushed Saldivar out of a car, and when the victim attempted to intervene, TK purportedly shot him with a handgun before fleeing the scene. Captured in New Jersey a few months later, TK's time on the lam surprisingly kickstarted his rap career. His debut single, The Race, not only gained attention but soared to number 2 on the Billboard rap chart. However, legal repercussions awaited him. U.S. Marshals brought the burgeoning rapper back to Texas, where he was found guilty of murder in July 2019 for Ethan Walker's death, resulting in a 55-year prison sentence. While behind bars, McIntyre faced an additional indictment on a capital murder charge for the death of Mark Anthony Saldivar, potentially opening the door to the death penalty as a sentencing option. TK's story is a unique and dark twist in the realm of musicians entangled in criminal activities.
Fuck a beat, I was tryna beat a case, but I ain't beat that case, bitch, I did the race. Beat it up.
Number 14, R. Kelly. Now, let's shine a light on the downfall of a once self-proclaimed king of R&B, R. Kelly, whose success was overshadowed by a long history of disturbing allegations. In 1998, R. Kelly declared himself the king of R&B, and his records undeniably dominated the airwaves in music stores. Hits like I Believe I Can Fly, Ignition Remix, and Sensual Slow Jams established him as a force in the music industry. However, behind the scenes, Kelly faced serious accusations of sexual abuse involving underage girls. The BBC reported that he married singer Aaliyah when she was just 15, facilitated by a fraudulent wedding certificate. In 1998, he settled a lawsuit accusing him of causing emotional distress to a teenager with whom he allegedly had a sexual relationship. The early 2000s brought even graver allegations, with Kelly facing up to 33 counts of producing sexual content involving children between 2002 and 2004. Despite initial legal victories, a BuzzFeed story and documentary resurfaced more disturbing claims, leading to criminal cases at both state and federal levels. In 2022, justice caught up with R. Kelly. A judge sentenced him to 30 years in prison on charges of racketeering and sex trafficking. Shortly after, a federal judge added a 20-year prison term for crimes against children, as reported by the New York Times.
Y'all quit playing. Quit playing. I didn't do this stuff. This is not me. I'm fighting for my...
Number 13, Gary Glitter. Our journey through musicians facing incarceration takes a dark turn with Gary Glitter, a once iconic figure in the glam rock scene of the early 70s, whose fall from grace is marked by heinous crimes. Known for hits like Rock and Roll Part 2, a staple at arenas and stadiums worldwide, Glitter's flamboyant looks and rhythmic stomp epitomized the glam rock era. However, his legacy became tainted as legal issues unfolded. Since the late 1990s, Glitter's name has been synonymous with criminal convictions related to sexual abuse against children. Computer repair technicians in the UK discovered disturbing images on his computer in 1999, leading to a 4-month prison stint. Unfazed, Glitter relocated to Vietnam, where in 2006, a court sentenced him to 3 years for inappropriate conduct towards girls aged 10 and 11. Returning to the UK in 2015, Glitter faced justice once again, receiving a 16-year prison sentence for abusing and assaulting 3 female minors in the 1970s and 1980s. After serving 8 years, he was paroled in February 2023. However, his taste of freedom was short-lived. Just 38 days after his release, the Daily Mail reported Glitter's rearrest for violating parole. Caught using a smartphone in a halfway house, he attempted to access the dark web, a notorious corner of the internet known for illegal content. This violation promptly landed him back behind bars.
And it's #1 time, and of course, if you believe me now, it's from the one and only Chicago.
Number 12, Ninja Man. Switching gears to the vibrant world of dancehall in the 1980s and 1990s, where Desmond Valentine, known by the stage name Ninja Man, rose to become one of Jamaica's biggest stars. His tracks, such as Murder Dem, Permit to Buy, My Weapon, and Above the Law, not only garnered immense popularity, but also stirred controversy due to their themes of violence, crime, and guns. However, fame and success couldn't shield Ninja Man from the consequences of his actions. In 2017, a Kingston court, as reported by the Jamaican Gleaner, handed down a life sentence to Valentine. The charges included murder and shooting with harmful intent, marking a drastic fall for the dancehall icon. Justice Martin Gale, presiding over the case, held Ninja Man most accountable for the 2009 murder of Ricardo Johnson. The incident unfolded after a skirmish between the two, leading Ninja Man, his son, and a friend, each receiving a minimum of 15 years in prison, to pursue Johnson. Cornered against a fence, Johnson was shot and succumbed to his wounds, sealing Ninja Man's fate.
Like I get a joke, you know. Everything in life is an experience, and nothing affect me.
Number 11, Austin Jones. Despite being a self-made internet personality, Austin Jones has done quite well for himself. In 2007, according to People, he started uploading YouTube videos of himself singing covers of popular songs in the a cappella style, or accompanied by acoustic guitar. A self-styled emo a cappella singer, he'd eventually start writing his own material, would release a couple of albums, and go on tour. He'd eventually amass more than 500,000 subscribers and garner views for his videos in the multi-millions. Jones' musical career abruptly ended in June 2017 upon his arrest for allegations that dated back 2 years. According to The Wrap, in 2019, a judge in a Chicago federal court sentenced Jones to 10 years in prison. 2 years earlier, the entertainer agreed to a plea bargain following an arrest in which he confessed to using his Facebook account to persuade underage female fans, some as young as 14 years old, to send him nude photos or explicit videos.
YouTube star with a large teenage following is headed to prison. A judge sentenced Austin Jones to 10 years behind bars.
Number 10, BG. Diving into the vibrant rap scene of New Orleans in the 1990s, we encounter Christopher Dorsey, better known as BG, who emerged as a prominent figure alongside rap stars like Lil Wayne and Birdman on Cash Money Records. BG made his mark with the iconic track Bling Bling in 1999, catapulting him to mainstream success and helping popularize the phrase itself. As part of Cash Money Records, BG continued to contribute hits both as a solo artist and as a member of the Hot Boys. However, in 2002, he decided to embark on his own path, founding Chopper City Records. But amidst his musical triumphs, BG faced legal troubles that eventually led to a significant prison sentence. In 2012, as reported by the New Orleans Times-Picayune, Dorsey was sentenced to 14 years behind bars on federal charges of unlawful gun possession and witness tampering. These charges stemmed from a 2009 incident where Dorsey, already a convicted felon, was caught with a firearm during a traffic stop by New Orleans police. Despite pleading guilty to the possession charge, Dorsey attempted to avoid punishment by coercing a friend into claiming ownership of the firearm. However, the law caught up with him, resulting in a substantial prison sentence. Number 9, Young QC. Now let's turn our attention to a shocking case that unfolded in Chicago involving a rising star on the local rap scene, Kwame Wilson, known as Young QC. In September 2012, tragedy struck when Yolanda Holmes, a 45-year-old beauty shop owner, was brutally murdered in her apartment. Initially, Eugene Spencer was arrested in connection with the crime. However, investigators soon unraveled a disturbing twist. The mastermind behind the murder was none other than Holmes' own son, Quamaine Wilson. Reports from the Washington Post detail a chilling narrative. Spencer claimed that Wilson offered him $3,500 for the hit, though he only received a fraction of that amount, $70. Prosecutors argued that Wilson orchestrated his mother's murder to inherit her wealth. In the aftermath of the gruesome act, Wilson shockingly spent $70,000 of his mother's money on extravagant items, including sneakers, guns, the production of a Young QC music video, and even a Ford Mustang. His flaunting of these purchases on social media added a surreal layer to the macabre tale. Both Wilson and Spencer were convicted of first-degree murder, and in a January 2020 court ruling, they were handed what essentially amounts to life sentences. 99 years for Wilson and 100 for Spencer.
A guy entered a home, and murdered her, just to steal.
Number 8, SPM, South Park Mexican. Our next tale takes us to the vibrant hip-hop scene of Houston in the 90s, where Carlos Coy, also known as South Park Mexican, SPM, played a pivotal role in shaping the local rap landscape. SPM, of Mexican-American heritage, gained prominence from the South Park neighborhood of Houston. He was not just an artist, but a key figure in the development of the indie hip-hop scene. Establishing the influential Dope House Records, SPM released albums like The Third Wish to Rock the World, which garnered significant local success, selling 100,000 copies in 1999, a remarkable feat for a regionally focused album. His tracks, notably You Know My Name and High So High, found their way onto the lower rungs of Billboard's national charts around the early 2000s, reflecting the widespread appeal of his music beyond Houston. However, the narrative takes a dark turn in 2002. As reported by the Houston Chronicle, SPM, using his birth name Carlos Coy, faced charges of sexually assaulting a young girl who had stayed overnight at his home for a sleepover with his 6-year-old daughter. Despite pleading not guilty, Coy was convicted and sentenced to 45 years in prison, with parole eligibility after 22.5 years.
I took it to heart. I took it as a message. And I wrote poems all my life, For my mom on her birthday, I'd write her a poem. For my sister on her birthday, I'd write her a poem.
Number 7, Roy Estrada. Our journey through the darker side of musicians' lives brings us to Roy Estrada, a bass guitarist whose influence echoed through the classic rock era. In the 1960s and 1970s, Estrada played a pivotal role in not one, but 2 highly influential classic rock bands. From 1964 to 1975, he was a recurring member of the Mothers of Invention, the avant-garde rock ensemble led by the enigmatic Frank Zappa. Simultaneously, Estrada joined forces with Lowell George in 1969 to co-found Little Feat, a swamp rock group that left an indelible mark on the musical landscape, with his bass contributions featured on the band's first 2 records. However, the rhythm of Estrada's life took a dark turn. According to reports from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, Estrada faced legal troubles in California, serving time on a felony charge related to a lewd act with a minor. Upon his release, he relocated to Tarrant County, Texas, where, disturbingly, he was accused of repeated abuse against a female family member under the age of 14. Shockingly, his relatives were unaware of his prior conviction. When arrested and charged, Estrada opted for a plea bargain. In 2012, he received a sentence of 25 years in prison without the possibility of parole.
The best rhythm guitar players I'd ever heard in my life. But his lead, he wasn't what you'd call a...
Number 6, Pete McNeil. Our next entry takes a somber turn as we delve into the troubling tale of Pete McNeil, a drummer whose life took a dark trajectory after his time with the alternative rock band Cake. In 2001, McNeil stepped into the role of Cake's drummer, succeeding Todd Roper. His beats provided the backbone to the quirky Sacramento-based hitmakers at live shows and occasionally in the studio throughout the early 2000s. McNeil's versatility extended beyond Cake. as he also lent his drumming skills to jazz pop icon Norah Jones and singer-songwriter Brett Dennen, showcasing his adaptability across musical genres. However, the rhythm of McNeil's life took a harrowing turn after his departure from Cake in 2004. Just several years later, on Thanksgiving Day in 2009, McNeil faced a dark chapter. According to the Los Angeles Times, a jury found him guilty of sexually abusing a child under the age of 10 during a holiday party in the Laurel Canyon neighborhood. This heinous crime against a 3-year-old child led to a severe sentence. In 2014, McNeil was ordered to join California's sex offender registry for the remainder of his life. Additionally, he received a state prison sentence of 15 years to life. Number 5. Tori Lanz. Our next tale takes us into the world of Canadian rapper Tori Lanz, whose promising career took a dramatic nosedive in July 2020, marking a turning point that involved none other than Megan Thee Stallion. The story unfolds after Lanz and Megan attended a party together. Shockingly, Lanz allegedly shot Megan Thee Stallion twice, an act that would send shockwaves throughout the music industry. In a candid recounting of the incident for the New York Times, Megan likened the violence she experienced to a broader issue of violence against black women in America. She revealed that Lanz shot at her while she was walking away from the car, and in subsequent interviews, Megan claimed that Lanz even attempted to silence her by offering money. In response, Lanz vehemently denied the allegations, accusing Megan of fabricating the story to tarnish his reputation. He even addressed the situation in his music, questioning the credibility of Megan's account. However, Megan stood firm in her version of events, facing not only Lanz's denials, but also the skepticism of other male rappers in the industry. As the legal battle unfolded, Megan Thee Stallion provided emotional testimony in court, detailing the aftermath of the incident. Despite Lanz's attempts to sway public opinion, the court found him guilty of 3 felony charges in December 2022. The charges included assault with a semi-automatic handgun, having a loaded and unregistered firearm in a vehicle, and gross negligence in discharging a firearm. Number 4. Ian Watkins. Prepare yourselves for a harrowing descent into the darkest corners of the music world as we delve into the disturbing case of Ian Watkins, the lead singer of the goth-tinged alternative metal band Lost Prophets. Lost Prophets emerged from Wales in the early 2000s, achieving success with major hits like Last Train Home, Wake Up, Make a Move, and I Don't Know. Ian Watkins, the band's founder and lead singer, was the creative force behind their music. However, the spotlight on Watkins took a sinister turn in 2013 when he was convicted on a shocking 13 charges, described by the presiding Crown Court judge as reaching new depths of depravity. The charges were all related to heinous sexual offenses committed against children. Watkins faced 3 counts of sexual assault, 7 counts involving the possession or creation of child pornography, and even conspiracy to rape a child, including an infant. Watkins' defense attorney made an unsettling argument, claiming that their client's extensive drug use had left him with no memory of committing the crimes. Despite this plea, Watkins was found guilty, and the judge, noting his complete lack of remorse and considering him a danger to the community, handed down a staggering 35-year sentence. The case extended beyond Watkins, as 2 women who facilitated his access to the victims were also tried and received sentences of 14 and 17 years.
Has been sentenced to 35 years by a court in the UK for his unspeakable sex crimes against children, some of whom were babies.
Number 3. Suge Knight. Hold on tight as we uncover the tumultuous journey of former music mogul Suge Knight, a figure synonymous with both the glory and the dark side of the music industry. In February 2015, Knight found himself at the center of a chilling incident that shocked the entertainment world. On the set of the blockbuster film Straight Outta Compton, Knight was charged with murder and attempted murder after a fatal hit and run. The incident claimed the life of Terry Carter and left Cleve Bone Sloan injured. Knight was accused of running over the victims with his truck. Due to the severity of the charges and Knight's criminal history, his $2.2 million bail was revoked. The ensuing trial, plagued by delays caused by Knight's health issues and changes in legal representation, finally reached its conclusion in September 2018. In a surprising turn of events, Knight entered a plea of no contest to voluntary manslaughter, as reported by the New York Times. Knight's legal troubles were not new. He had previously been shot 6 times in a 2014 nightclub incident and arrested for driving on a suspended license in 2013. His turbulent history also included a hospitalization in 2009 after a fight at an Arizona hotel. Considering his violent past, Knight faced a harsh sentence. He was handed a 28-year prison term to be served at R.J. Donovan Correctional Facility in San Diego, with parole eligibility set for 2037.
I don't know how many people in here, maybe Judge Fiddler has that much money, but we don't, Judge. $25 million. $25 million.
Number 2, G-Dep. Before Coleman's confession and incarceration, Coleman was one of the rising stars of the Sean Diddy Combs Bad Boy Records when he signed with the label in 1998. He first appeared on 2 tracks on Black Rob's 1999 album, Life Story. On December 15, 2010, Coleman walked into the 25th precinct to turn himself in. He confessed to a cold case crime, a murder of a Queens man in 1993. Coleman had attempted to confess twice before, but was previously considered to be under the influence of drugs and incoherent. On October 19, 1993, John Henkel was shot in the chest by a .40 caliber handgun outside of James Weldon Johnson houses on Park Avenue in East 114th Street. Coleman stated that he ambushed and shot Henkel during an attempted robbery and fled the scene, throwing his weapon into the East River. Coleman's information matched with the case, and he was charged with murder. Coleman told in an interview that he confessed because the case weighed on him, and he was just trying to get things right between himself and God. Coleman claimed that he did not know that his victim died. Sean Combs commented on G-Dep's situation on Sirius's Shade 45 radio show, saying Coleman did the right thing by confessing. Coleman pleaded not guilty to second-degree murder at his appearance in New York Supreme Court on January 13, 2011. He was convicted of the second-degree murder charge on April 17, 2012, and was sentenced to 15 years to life in prison on May 8, 2012. He is housed at Fishkill Correctional Facility in Beacon, New York. In December 2023, Coleman's sentence was commuted by Governor Kathy Hochul, making him eligible for parole.
Then he grabbed the gun, and it was kind of like a struggle. And I pulled the gun back from him, and then I fired.
Number 1, Young Thug. In his early discography, Young Thug covered a wide range of topics, and most verses of his earlier albums to his chart-topping hits explored a wide range of topics, ranging from street life to personal struggles to love, success, and the trappings of fame. His music also attracted fans who admired his intricate wordplay and audacious imagery, often blurring the lines between reality and artistry. The irony, though, is that several themes in his music would later serve as evidence in his legal battle. Young Thug, Gunna, and some 26 members of his label Young Stoner Life, YSL, found themselves embroiled in a 56-count RICO case. In an extensive 88-page grand jury indictment, the music label was accused of being a criminal street gang and engaging in gang activity and criminal plots. Evidence used to draw this conclusion included lyrics and social media posts. According to Thug, his alleged involvement in the gang made him susceptible to charges under the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, RICO. This federal statute targets organized criminal enterprises, aiming to bring down entire networks rather than just individual actors. The charges against Young Thug also revealed his alleged involvement in other criminal scandals, like drug trafficking and weapon possession, primarily in the Atlanta metropolis. So far, the YSL boss has been incarcerated for over a year. Still, several factors have contributed to the slow pace of his case, including media coverage and an alleged slow jury selection process. The length of his stay behind bars and his release will depend on the legal proceedings and the case's eventual outcome. Although his partner Gunna was released earlier this year, it is uncertain when Young Thug will regain his freedom.
One of the longest and strangest trials in Georgia state history takes another turn. An attorney representing a YSL trial defendant is now facing gang-related charges of her own.
If you want to explore more intriguing stories from the music world, click on the playlist on your screen right now. And as always, hit that subscribe button to join our growing community. Thanks for watching.